Wowza, Jordan here. In this episode, we are going to be doing two things. First, we're going to be making the enemy tank shoot the player. And after that, we are going to be making enemy tanks spawn. So, without further ado, let's get started. So first, what we want to do is if we open the enemy tank in the hierarchy, open it and hold Alt and open the tank armature, you'll see the barrel and the barrel end. If we open our tank as well, hold Alt while clicking on the tank armature, we'll see the bullet spawn point. We need to go, we're going to select this, copy, and we're going to select position. Then if we go to our barrel, right click on the barrel and create an empty and name this bullet spawn point and put in paste position. And there we go, it's at the tip of the barrel. If we check it, we also have the X is -90. And there we go. If we choose local now, the Z is pointing in the correct direction. Perfect. If we select our enemy tank now, we can open the enemy script. Just double click on it. And let me just minimize the console. We're going to change from our enemy inheriting from mono behavior to our shooting class. And then what we want to do is then go make a public float bullet cooldown timer, which is equal to 3F, and then another public float, and this will be bullet cooldown time. This will be private though, so there we go. And then finally we're going to add a private vector 3 target pause. Okay, and we're going to set our target pause. So on our update, before we go agent.set destination, we're going to go if target is not null, then we set the target position to our target dot position. So this makes it so that let's say our player tank or the target gets destroyed, then it'll just return a bunch of null reference errors. And because when our enemy tank shoots the player, it will get destroyed. What we do is we have a vector 3 and it goes towards the vector 3 instead of the target dot position. And this makes it so that it stores the position in vector 3, and this means that if the target is null, it will just carry on going to the last position of the player's death. Well, the death position, really. Then what we can do is we can go at the very top, bullet cooldown time minus equals time dot delta time. This will make it so it just lasts, in this case, 3 seconds. Okay, and if bullet cooldown time is smaller or equal to 0, then we fire. Whoops. Then we can fire. And I'm going to, and this doesn't exist, fire yet. So we need to make a public void fire. There we go. Okay. And we are going to go bullet cooldown time equal to bullet cooldown timer. And then we can just go shoot. And this will say true. Now the reason why we're going true is if we open our shooting script, is enemy bullet in this case is true. On our player controller it says false because it isn't an enemy bullet. And that is it. If we now open a Unity, and if we just scroll down, we have to fill in a few things. We select our enemy tank, by the way. We give it our bullet prefab and a bullet spawn point. And that's it. Now if we press play and wait 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, and it shot us. There we go. If we just close everything now, yeah, it's quite cool. And now the player shooting us. So let's say we move our enemy, let's say over here. So it has to try and get to us. Okay, and if we try and let's just, damn, it got us. And as you see, there are no reference areas either. It's trying to go to the player's last known position. And there we go. It works. So also what we're going to do is, because it's pretty much impossible, you may as well forget about trying to kill the enemy since there's no aiming. We're going to add a camera. So we're going to go camera. There we go. We are going to disable its audio listener or remove the component, and because it gives errors otherwise, since there's it doesn't like multiple audio components. We're going to rotate this on the z-axis by 90 degrees and right like whoops, I think something's a bit strange. Yes, the Z is forward, so you need to rotate. If you hold command while rotating, by the way, then it will be snapping rotate. And there, that's the perfect position. We're going to swap to, if we just go here, negative 180. There we go. Whoops, we need to somehow make Z forward, so if we get the rough position, it is negative 90 degrees. And there we go. We select our camera now and move it forward. This is exactly where the bullet will hit. So let's say we just went game now. And we moved around. Whoops, the enemy shot us, damn. Okay, let me just make it full screen. Whoops, not 4K. That's a bit laggy. Because the high resolution you have, the laggy will be. And 4K is like the only ones at like 30 FPS or something. Oh, damn, you got us again. So let's see whether it's a bug or if he's just really good aim. Okay, I think that's a bug, since if we just go to our game, go to our enemy tank, and disable its enemy script, just so he can't shoot at us, let's try and see if we can get him, or if it's actually broken. Okay, it seems to be broken, irritatingly. So let's try and go to him. Yep, we can't shoot him. So let's try and figure out what's wrong. Okay, I just found out what the problem was. Let's just undo this. The problem was that it had exclude layers on it. The enemy tank's collider was set to default, so it excluded the bullet as well. So we have exclude layers and nothing. And now if we press play, let's just drive along to it. We should be able to shoot it. There we go. Right, now we can enable our enemy tank script. And let's see if we can shoot it. Whoa, it got us. Let's just try again. I think I need to add a range system so it can't shoot too far away. Ooh, good gracious, it's really good aim. Right, let's just try. Can we get it? Yes, we got it. Phew. Okay, but as you see, it's quite cool. I'm just going to add a range system now. So if we open our enemy tank, our enemy tank script, we're going to add a public. Okay, there's going to be a float, and there's a shoot range is equal to, let's say, 10F, let's say 5F, let's say. We can make it, we can see how it works. We'll then go, we can only go if the bullet cooldown time is smaller than 0. So what we'll do is we'll only shoot if, okay, the shoot vector 3, sorry, vector 3 dot distance, okay, and we're going to give the transform dot position, okay, and then we're going to give it the target dot position. And if that is smaller or equal to the shoot range, then we can finally actually shoot. Right, if we go back to Unity now and we press play here, so he's too far away now, he can't shoot. Let's wait for him to get closer and closer, and he should be able to shoot now-ish. I think it's way too close before we can shoot. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open our enemy script, I think, and we're just going to debug the distance. So if we get this and we go debug.log, okay, give it the distance. We'll go back to Unity now, and we press play. Okay, it is like 58 distance. Okay, so it should be able to shoot at, let's say, 45. So if we go to our enemy tank, shooting distance to 45, or shooting range actually. And let's press play now. He should be able to shoot around now. And there we go, he shot us. Perfect. Okay, now we just gotta make it so you can switch between the different cameras. This is aim camera. And so what I'm going to do, so as you see here, if we disable the aim camera, then it goes over to our third person view. If we enable it, it goes to aim camera. And we can use this to our advantage. So if we open player controller, and if we on update, okay, we can have a private boolean aim mode is equal to false, and we can also have a public, or let's say a serialized field. Just copy the serialized field. This will be our game object, and this will be the camera, okay, or the aim camera. So aim camera, there we go. It's on update. So if input dot get key down key code, okay, this will check if we're pressing a certain key. So if we're pressing C, okay, and then we can go if aim mode is false. So if we're pressing C and we're not aiming, then we want to go aim camera dot set active to true. So we enable it and go in aim mode. But if this is false, we want to disable the aim camera. There we go, and that should be it. If we go to Unity, and if we just go, whoops, let's just open this error. Let's see. Okay, let's see what went wrong here. And it looks all correct. Okay, let's just see. So there we go, we're missing a curly bracket. So if we go back to Unity now, there we go. And if we can just clear all those logs, and if we go to our tank, we want to go give it our aim camera. Now if we press play, press C, we can switch between our aim camera. Whoops, we can't seem to switch to our third person camera anymore. Let's try and fix that. Let's go to our tank and open our player controller. Right, if we go here, so if aim mode is false, then we enable it, and if aim mode is true, okay, let's just look this up. If aim mode is true, then we can disable it. That should work. Let's go back to Unity. Oh, of course, yes, I totally forgot. We must set the aim mode if it's false. So true in this case. And if this is true, we say it's a false. We can get back our else statements. Now let's go Unity. If we select Unity now, and we press C, switch between the camera, and now we can switch between the camera freely. There we go, we can shoot, and it's quite cool. There we go. Now let's start with enemy tank spawning. We're going to select our enemy tank, and let's apply our overrides. We may also do it to the player tank. There we go. And then we can just go create an empty. This will be tank spawner. Let's reset the position. Tank spawner. And if we open our tank spawner, then what we can do, we're going to have a public float spawn cooldown time. Cooldown timer is equal to 3F, and then we have another private float which is spawn cooldown timer. Very similar system to the shooting actually, except instead of shoot we instantiate the object. We also can have a game object. Okay, this will be the enemy tank, that will be the prefab. Then we can have a transform array. Okay, and this will be the tank spawn points. There we go. We can add a private void update. And there we go. And then we can go spawn cooldown time minus equals by the time dot delta time. There we go. It's the exact same system as our shooting here so far. Spawn cooldown time is smaller than or equal to 0. And then spawn cooldown time is equal to spawn cooldown timer. Okay, and then finally we can go instantiate enemy tank spawn points, and we need to give it an index. We'll just go random.range. You could have a more advanced system, like maybe spawn depending on where the player tank is. I don't know how you do that, but you could if you really wanted to. But I'll just make it so it spawns at random positions on the map. Tank spawn points dot length. Okay, and then we can finally go dot position, and we get the tank spawn points position, and then just go quaternion dot identity. And that just means that's no rotation at all. There we go, and that should spawn the tank properly. If we go to Unity, okay, let's fix this. This will be the spawn cooldown time. There we go. Now let's go to Unity. Okay, we can give it the enemy tank. Let's go prefabs, give it enemy tank here. Make sure it's a prefab. You can delete this enemy tank, by the way. We're then going to go make an empty. This is going to be tank spawn points. And we reset the transform. We can make an empty, so it'll be spawn point. Okay, and we can just, I'll just show you how to do this. We just find a good point where the tank you'd want your enemy tank to spawn. Let's say it spawns here. And then we can make another point on the map where enemy tank could spawn. And let's say it spawns right over here. And I'd recommend having maybe 2, 3, or 4, maybe possibly 5 different spawn points, or as many as you like, really. So let's say up these hills, And make sure they're relatively close to ground, but not too close where the tank spawns in the ground, because that's very high. There we go. And now if we're a tank spawner, we can lock this. And what that means is if we select something else, it won't change the inspector window. Select all our spawn points and drag them over the tank spawn points. Unlock it now. And if we press play, and we just go see, drive around. Oh, this tank decided to spawn right here. And another tank might have spawned somewhere else. Let's try and find it. There it is. And already you can kind of see the gameplay, and of course later on you'd have your explosions and stuff like that. So we're starting to make some quite nice progress with the game. Okay. Wow, some really strategic positions. I don't know how they managed to get their tanks up there. Okay. Interesting. Let's try and, I think the spawn point's on a building or something. I don't know how they managed to get up there really, but yes. No, okay, let's just try and find a spawn point that decided to spawn them up a building. Let's move that just in case. You know what, I have no idea how they managed to spawn up there, or how it's possible. That's weird. And there's even a spawn point up here. You know what we can do is, if we select all our spawn points, we can change this from, we can choose a select icon. It's quite a cool little thing you can do. But if we, let's just choose we can choose one of these colors, which should happen, or it doesn't seem to be working for some reason. Oh, that's way too high. I think that needs to be moved down. Okay, I'm not quite sure why that's working. I'll look into it some other time. It isn't necessary. What's supposed to happen, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. What's supposed to happen is it should show a little icon, like this little icon wherever an object is. Not sure why that isn't working. Usually it works. Okay, that's weird. Well, let's just test the game and make sure no more tanks spawn up buildings or anything. Yes, you did. Just spawn up a building right there. How on earth? Let's select all our spawn points. This is obviously the one. There we go, I guess. Let's see if that fixes it. Whoops, I didn't use play mode. So if you accidentally move in play mode, or you're purposely doing play mode, and you want to copy it, you can just choose copy component. Select 3 dots to get there. Then we can select 3 dots again and paste component values. And that's a cool trick I learned. If we go to our game again, yay, I don't think any tanks should be able to spawn up buildings again. Which is a bit more realistic, I guess. Never heard of military tactic where the tanks spawn, they move up buildings, but it's interesting. But yeah, you can slow down the spawn time if it's too difficult. But yeah, we've got a real little game here going. It's quite cool. We just died. Currently, whoops, there's an error. Let's try and fix this actually. Let's double click on this. Yes, okay, so you know what we can do is, instead of transform target opposition, we can just go target pause. And there we go. Now we'll get no more errors. So if we just play around with the game a bit. Okay, and let's just press play. We can drive around in our third person view. We can go in our first person aiming view. There you are. Oh, let's get him. And it's already quite fun actually. Damn, we died. Yeah, we obviously, good gracious, they still think that, good gracious, they shooting each other. I don't know how that's possible. Okay, that will need to be fixed. I think that is because if we, first we've got to fix these no reference errors. Yes, what we need to do is go tank spawner, And if, okay, so if we just give it a public transform player, and if the player is not null, okay, then we can start spawning tanks. If the player is null at any point, then else, okay, then we just kill the tank spawner, destroy game objects, and I'll completely stop any tanks ever spawning again after the player's dead. Right, if we start it up again, and there we go. And to fix the friendly fire, I believe what you can do is, if we check our collider, go to our enemy tank. For some reason collider doesn't, if we select everything, then we can change the tag to all be enemy, and then everything on the player should be enemy as well. If now we press play, I believe we shouldn't have any kind of friendly fire again. So if we just drive out and go to our scene view now, let's make it full screen. Whoops, I totally forgot. We've got to select our tank spawner and drag in our player. There we go, now it'll work. If we drive around, we're getting some null reference errors. Okay, and there's on the enemy. So let's go back to Unity, see what the error is about. So if we check it, enemy.start, it's something's null there. Yes, okay. So what we can do is, if we so on our enemy, so the target, if it's not found, I guess we can just so you can just go if, so if target is null, we can just destroy the game object. Okay, and there we go. Let's go back to Unity now. After going back and forth in Unity, and now if we press play, this should all work, I hope. Damn, for some reason it decided to give more errors. I'm not sure why. Whoops, oh, of course. Yes, the tank, it decided to have a tag enemy. Obviously, I accidentally set it that. So make everything to do with the tank. Let's make it player. Now let's press play. Whoops, I accidentally chose enemy here. So now if we just drive here, go scene, and if we let the enemies try and destroy our player tank. Okay, they shot at it. Now they're going to hopefully do, well, they did friendly fire apparently. Okay, they're all killing themselves. Okay, I'm not sure why this is happening. So let's check everything. Okay, we're going to pause when a bullet's being shot out. So if we select our bullet, and is enemy bullet, should be true. Okay, let's check our bullet script. I think there's something wrong here. Okay, so if it is an enemy bullet, okay, and it hits a player, then that's fine. Or if it's an enemy object, okay, and let's just add this just to make sure, and is enemy bullet is false. There we go. I'm not sure why this isn't working. If we now go back to Unity, lots of going back and forth, my goodness. And now finally we press play. Let's see. Okay, that's fine. It killed the player. Now let's see. Please don't destroy, do friendly fire. No friendly fire. And I think it works. Yes, no friendly fire anymore. Okay, I think the last thing to do is just to play the game. So let's start. Okay, our tank spawned in. there is an enemy tank. Let's try and snipe him. Oh, we got him. Nice. Oh, there are 2 more tanks. And we got both of them. So I like how it works. Oh, damn, we died. Let's restart. We'll, of course, have to add a restart button later on. I think the next video should be explosions, because currently it's just disappearing. It's very boring. So definitely explosions for the next video. I'll be making the explosions using particle effects. Oh, we got him again. And of course later on this is definitely not finished. So of course we'll also maybe a video after that. I'm not sure. I might have different plans by then, but we might try and add different buildings. I'll see how it goes. If the next video, we'll see. If you have any ideas for the coming videos, then please write them down in the comment section. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next one. Bye!